Far, far away, under the light of an alien sun, one can find Dyevaltin. The fourth planet from its star, it remains cold yet still fairly hospitable. In fact, out of the 10,000 worlds humanity inhabits, Dyevaltin is among those that most closely resembles old Earth. Definitely more than sweltering, tideless Tallahassee. The days are a comfortable 26 hours long and the years last 390 of those. Likewise, the sky is blue and there are 4 relatively mild seasons of equal length, something which, while often taken for granted, is surprisingly hard to come across. But one only needs to look up to start noticing the differences. First of all, while Dyevaltin has a large enough moon, it is hardly ever the protagonist in the night sky. Indeed, that dusty, barely rounded pebble often finds itself outmatched by Great Newinna, the much larger, much brighter planet next door, which casts its blue-white light every night without fail, unlike the poor moon which comes and goes every 18. Furthermore, Dyevaltin also gets hit by asteroids more often than Earth has in over 3 billion years. And this is ultimately the reason why Dyevaltin has become a stranded world, as they are often called, a planet whose inhabitants can no longer escape its reach. Indeed, 12,000 years ago, it was home to a star-faring society much like any other. They had rockets, they had telescopes, and they had satellite maps. To them, Newinna was not a distant goddess lording over the life and death of the people, but rather a medium-sized ice giant whose reflected light made it hard to study the distant stars from the surface. But then came dreadful news. An asteroid larger than any seen before or since was fast approaching, and there would be no way to push it away. The people may have tried all that they could, but despite it all, the comet kept on its course. Thus, fearing for their lives and futures, Dyevaltin's old elites gathered all their resources and started building ships. Ships unlike any seen before. Of course, their ancestors had done that and much more long ago, having once crossed the 100 light years that separate them from Earth. But that was ages ago, and truth be told, nobody really remembered quite how they did it, let alone given the deadline they were presented with. Thus, they would not try to return to Earth. Instead, they would simply set up shop on a nearby planet and wait for the storm to pass, so to speak. There was, however, one small problem. There was no way in hell, heaven or earth that everyone could live. And so a lottery was offered as a solution. The 40,000 winners would get to live, the 4 billion losers would not. And to this scheme there was a little detail that the organizers never told anyone. The lottery was always meant to be rigged. It was always going to be the ones who funded the program that would get to board the great ships. And the commoners? Well, they would meet the fate that befell the dinosaurs 75 million years ago. And then they would return and rebuild as if nothing had happened. And so the day came.